Hello, I'm Tiffany Cloud. Welcome to The Storm, and thank you for watching today on WYLN TV 35. Well, you know, it's 2015, and a new year is always about new beginnings. I am so excited to kick off the new season of The Storm by taking you on an exclusive tour of some of the great things that are happening through the Hazleton Downtown Development Corporation, as well as the Downtown Hazleton Alliance for Progress. Shortly after the break, I'm going to be joined by Neal DeAngelo III, who is going to give us a tour of some of the fabulous things that they are doing to revitalize downtown Hazleton. It's only here on WYLN TV right after the break. Hello, I'm Tiffany Cloud, and welcome back to The Storm. As I said in the opening of the show, it's 2015, a new year. What better time to talk about new things happening, particularly new things happening in the downtown of Hazleton. Today I am delighted to be joined by Neal DeAngelo III, who is going to share with us some exciting things happening with the Downtown Hazleton Development Company, things happening with your own company, DBI, and things happening with the Downtown Hazleton Alliance for Progress, which you are heavily involved in.
Absolutely.
So thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. It's great.
Well, it's great. And we just, before we taped the show, we had a wonderful meal over at the Pines, which is a terrific thing that your family's brought to the downtown as well.
Thank you. Yeah, it's exciting, and it's nice to see something that's kind of something from the old, but a new spin on it, and it's people are really happy and excited about it. So are we.
I'm glad that you said that about the Pines, because that's what I was exactly going to say, and I think that sentence captures a lot of what your family and what the various organizations you're affiliated with are trying to do, is trying to find that blend of respecting tradition and where we have been as a city. In the same time, though, figure out where we need to go and how to bring some modern flair, if you will, and take us forward.
Yeah, it's one of those things where you have to. Hazleton, what it was in the 20s and 30s, people got to stop comparing it to that, because it's not going to ever be that again. But we want to respect that. It was a great time for Hazleton. But on the flip side, there's a lot of new things. And so we're trying to respect our history, respect what's here now. There's a lot of great businesses that have been downtown a long time, and so keep promoting what's here. On the flip side, keep looking forward and seeing what new we can bring and what other opportunities downtown Hazleton has. So it's going well. I'm glad,
and I know a lot of people are really excited about it. I mean, obviously change makes anybody nervous, and there's always trepidation when it's something new and different. If we were doing the same thing, yeah, we'd be in our comfort zone. And it's important, if you want to grow, you always have to get a bit out of your comfort zone and consider doing new things. So, I think it's exciting that we are. So what I'd like to do before we look at some pictures and then ultimately take a tour of one of the buildings that you're working to renovate, I want to explain to the viewers out there a little about the different organizations that are involved in the revitalization of the downtown. Specifically, I want to start with the Downtown Hazleton Development Company. Okay. If you could share a bit about them.
Yeah, so I guess a couple years back now, our operating business, DBI Services, was looking to relocate its corporate offices. After some time and reviewing some opportunities in different places, we always wanted to be in downtown Hazleton. It's where our heart is, in Hazleton area. Born and raised, the whole family, so we wanted to stay here. So we saw what the Hayden family had done with this building we're in now, the Marco building, and it was just tremendous, and there was so much opportunity down here. And we felt it was a great thing for our employees, a great thing for our family, and a great thing for the community if we can be part of downtown Hazleton. So we partnered with the Hayden family and acquired some buildings to make room for not only the tenants that are currently here, but our corporate offices, which would be another 140 people, we'd be bringing down once the building's ready. So it's that's kind of how it all started, and since then we've acquired a couple more buildings, and we're still under the renovations. So we just putting some bridges up next. We'll see a couple bridges.
Yeah, we'll be taking a look at that. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it just slowly over time developed into a you know,
rather big project.
Yeah. Went from moving our corporate offices to, you know, revitalizing downtown Hazleton.
Well,
I guess.
And the truth be told, it's hard to separate those two things because you know the downtown's really looking to bring more business in, bring more people in. You know, get excited again. When I grew up as a kid, you know, this is where you came to the downtown. You got all dressed up, dressed to the nines. You go to Dice Roast downtown. You know, that was the big department store, and the heart was really beating in the downtown, and you're just, you know, the heart started beating a little more quietly over the last couple of decades, and you're just going to give it a couple extra pumps.
Yeah, it's going to take time, you know, and but it'll be back again. There's no doubt about it.
So, in addition to the Downtown Hazleton Development Company, there is also the Downtown Hazleton Alliance for Progress.
Correct.
If you could share with the audience a little bit about that.
Absolutely. So what actually happened was at the same time, you know, the Broad Street Corridor project was finishing up, and some of these other projects that, you know, and there were other people showing interest in downtown. We were, you know, obviously then said, well, we need to look at what other communities are doing. So a couple of us, my dad, and, you know, myself, and a couple of us went down. We seen what other cities and communities have done, and we met with their economic development and their downtown organizations, and said, hey, you know, what have you done? Can, you know, help with our learning curve a little bit.
Can I just interrupt you there? What were some of the cities, for example, you went to?
We went to Lancaster, we went to Reading. We tried to stay in, you know, similar communities to ours.
That have similar backgrounds.
Similar backgrounds and things, yeah. I mean, Lancaster, you know, some of them are Reading, they're larger population-wise, but yeah, similar backgrounds. You know, went from a downtown that maybe wasn't as thriving, and now, you know, it's much different now. Okay. So we did that, and we came, you know, one of the things we came out of that with was we needed a plan, a strategic plan. You know, some consultants and these people, these engineers, they're architects, they come in and you see what you have. So we came back with the mission of, well, let's get a strategic plan in place. At the same time, there was another group of people looking at the downtown. So we kind of joined forces and, you know, created this alliance, Downtown Hazleton Alliance for Progress. Got more formal, you know, got our 501c3, went out for fundraising, hired an executive director who was the executive director. Krista Schneider. She
who's a smart cookie. She's a Harvard grad.
She is. Yes. She was part of the other group that was looking at Downtown Hazleton. She worked for Barry Isaac here in town. So she was doing a lot in the community the way it was. So it was just a natural fit. It was a perfect kind of, you know, right in with the organization. So we were able to hire her full-time to focus on this, which was huge. So this year now, you know, we have so many good things happening between the finalization of the plan. You know, we're going to apply for our Main Street Community Program, which is huge because it opens up more doors for funding and, you know, some grant opportunities and things for the city, for the downtown. You know, keep capitalizing on things that we haven't, you know, or accomplished in 2014. Keep our fundraising going. You know, I know we're going to talk about the Second Fridays. You know, we kicked them off last year, and they
have social events
exactly
to get people fired up about coming downtown and doing fun things.
And we have challenges, and we know that. You know, we're working with the community. There's a lot of community input in the plan.
Okay. Well, on that note, we're going to take a break right here, and after the break, we're going to come back. We're going to look at some maps and some drawings as to what the vision is, and then we're going to go on the tour of the interior of one of the buildings being renovated. We'll be right back here, only on The Storm, WYLN TV. Welcome back to The Storm. Okay, Neal, so I'm excited to take a look at the overall scheme as to what the plans are for the downtown. If you could walk us through this.
Yeah, sure, no problem. So what we have here is, this is an aerial shot of really when I say the DHD properties that have been acquired in our partnership. Excuse me. So we're in, number one, here's the Markle building.
So that's where we are right now.
Currently in the lobby. So we're standing in the lobby pretty much like right here. And then really two here is the parking lot that's connected behind the Markle building and the Cityscape property. Building is probably is over 90% full at this point. And it's multi-tenant, so there's over 40-some tenants currently working out of the Markle building and the Cityscape properties here. Directly, I guess we can go to three. Three up the road is a perspective. It's a multi-tenant building, the Hazleton National Bank building.
Okay.
Currently being rented. and we're looking to renovate that in 2015 or 2016.
And that's currently being rented for residential or for business?
Business.
Okay.
Right. So it's all business rental right now.
All right.
But we may look to do, or could potentially do, if the need comes, some lofts or some living at some point. But right now, office is the target for us.
Okay.
And then directly over here is the Traitor Bank building. This will be the building or the property that our company DBI will be relocating its world headquarters. We'll be taking the entire building for that.
And that's where you're going to have your 140 employees
Corporate
coming.
employees, correct.
Okay.
Yep. And that's currently under renovations right now, and we'll see soon. It's, you know, the interior is renovated, you know, so we'll see some.
I can't wait to get inside there. I'm so excited.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's gonna be pretty nice, real nice. And then what you don't see on here, which I'll show you in a second, is we're also building bridges. Down here is the Mine Street parking. So this will be where the tenants, whether it's tenants in this building or our employees, will be parking. The city's currently renovating that, the city-owned garage. They have some money that they are putting in this to renovate it, bring it up to, you know, standard. And then there's going to be bridges, or there are bridges being built, and we'll see those going across Mine Street and the railroad tracks here, and then also across Wyoming Street, so that people will be able to safely and you know, without having to trudge through the snow or the cold across and into the buildings.
And let's just, you know, slide right over to these bridges. And, you know, it's probably no mistake that the audience is seeing that I have this cape on today, and I do for a reason. We're taping the show on a day where the wind chill factors are about 15, 20 below zero here in the downtown.
Absolutely.
So what I love the fact that you have these enclosed bridges for twofold reasons. Number one, we have long winters here and it's mighty cold.
Very true.
And it'll keep people warm as they go between buildings into garages.
High heels. I mean, you know, there's a lot going on. So.
Yeah, I mean, we have snow, you don't have to fall.
Right.
And also, number two, I mean, safety is still very much a concern. You know, sadly, crime rates aren't as low as we'd like them to be in the area yet. And so it will give employees and people that are ambulating throughout the downtown a greater sense of security.
Well, very true. And the other key thing is the safety just even crossing the railroad track. I mean, this is a live railroad track here, so, you know, it's another safe way of actually, instead of having to walk across, you can walk overhead.
Now, what is the projected timeline for
this? Is actually supposed to be complete by the end of the month.
Oh, so almost when the show, a little after the show's on air, will be for the first time.
Yeah.
Great.
It's, well, I mean, you'll see it's good ways done now. So we're waiting to put some glass in and pour the floors and put the carpet in, and they'll be ready to roll.
Love it.
I don't know if we'll be able to use them by that point, but they'll be done.
They'll be finished. Okay. Now let's slide also to the next board, which is, when we opened the show, we talked a lot about the Downtown Hazleton Alliance for Progress, the fact that the Power Group, are certainly trying. The Chamber of Commerce, of course, I shouldn't leave them out. Absolutely, everybody's really trying to make more activity in the downtown.
Absolutely.
And so, talk to us about the Second Fridays that are happening.
Yeah, it's really a great example of a partnership. So it's Power, it's the Chamber, it's the Downtown Alliance, and really what we're trying to do is trying to promote businesses that are here and have different events, so that every second Friday there's something going on in downtown Hazleton. So all through 2015 now you'll see a listing, and you can go on and really any of the websites to get the full listing of events and participating businesses of things going on that day.
And what I like again is you've said that your goal is to bring the older generations and the traditions together with the younger generations, the people that are going to help this city, this community move forward. And, you know, it certainly seems like through the variety of events that you're doing on Second Fridays, you're trying to find a lot of things that will bridge the generation gaps that people can do together and ultimately learn from each other.
Right.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah, you got it.
Well, then let's move along, and folks, we're going to go next, and we are going to take a tour of the interior of the Traitor Building, only here on The Storm. Welcome back to The Storm. So Neal, we are inside of the Traitor Bank building being renovated, which you are going to bring the DBI corporate headquarters to.
Yes. This lobby right now it's torn apart. I mean, it's got, you know, we basically ripped all the guts out of it. Anything that we were able to save, we're trying to save. So there's some of the brass and things we've stored away.
That has historical
value, right, from the bank and things. But other than that, it's been pretty much ripped open, all new coming in. And this is going to be our lobby. So we'll have a front desk. And we looked at maybe breaking it up a little bit, but in the end, it's a little large for the lobby that we need size-wise. But it's such a grand space to start carving spaces out. We didn't want to do that, you know, touch the. So we're going to have a green wall. We're going to have a skylight come in, a water feature. There'll be a nice front desk, a bunch of informal seating areas where people can, you know, sit, and if they want to have a coffee or talk, or, you know, have an informal meeting. So that's the whole purpose of this space. We're going to bring some history of the company in, as well as the building. So we're going to have truck 1, truck 1000. We're going to actually bring them in the lobby. We have them parked. So we'll have them displayed in here. We'll have
the actual trucks.
The trucks will be in here.
And it's certainly a big enough space to do that.
Right. So
that'll fill the space fast.
Right, and we'll have some trees, a water feature, you know, and then the history of not only of DBI, which, you know, have a cabinet and the trucks and things, but then of the building, a little history of the Traitors building.
Well, and just take a few seconds to explain to the folks who don't know what DBI does, what DBI actually does as a business.
We are an infrastructure maintenance and operations company, basically. I mean, we take care of highways, railroads, all maintenance and operations, so we don't build really anything. We borderline restoration, rehabilitation, but you know, we maintain highways and railroads. So.
And you do that across the United States, but you're also a global business.
Correct, correct. So anything from, you know, spraying the lines on the road, spraying the weeds on the sides of the road or the rails.
So the people understand why trucks are so important to your business and why they'll be in the lobby.
One of our biggest assets, other than the people.
Right. Well, what we're going to do next, Neal, you're going to take me up. This is a 7-story building. You're going to take me up to the 2nd floor where there is a mock-up of one of the potential offices.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, Neal, so we are now on the 2nd floor in the Traitor Bank building, and you've brought me into this glass-doored office.
Right.
It's a little loud out there. There's a heat generator out there, but it's still cold enough that we need earmuffs and hats.
Still very cold.
So we're inside what's going to be one of the actual offices for your employees. If you could explain to us some things about it, because it looks pretty neat.
Yeah, so the first thing that we wanted to try to accomplish was we wanted to, the glass is important. We wanted to, with the exterior, all these windows on the exterior, we wanted to try to get light throughout the building. So we didn't want to start boxing it in with walls and hard walls everywhere.
Yeah, people are happier when they're working in a light environment.
So we made sure we have all glass front walls, or, you know, where the offices, private offices are going to be. And then throughout the building, every floor is going to have a different design, schematics, different carpet patterns, but it'll flow. So you'll still feel like you're part of it's part of the same company. It'll all flow. You'll feel like it's not one world versus another. But little differences in each carpet, wallpapers, paint schemes, things like that. So.
And you were telling me when we walked onto this floor before we started rolling tape that you are going to leave a lot of the ceilings exposed.
Correct. So
which gives it character.
Absolutely. We want to, you know, so you'll see some of the mechanical systems. We are going to drop the ceilings in the core where the mechanical units themselves will be. So the hallway itself have a drop ceiling. But in the offices and maybe in the bigger, larger rooms where we may have some cubicles, it'll be exposed ceilings with clouds. You know,
and they're high ceilings. I mean, they've got to be about 12 foot. I mean, they're high.
I don't know that. Yeah, they are high. I don't know. Exactly
which I like.
So we wanted to keep all that, and we didn't want to start again boxing everything in. So.
Okay. Well, now after seeing this office, where do you want to take the folks next?
We can walk up to the 3rd floor. The neat thing about the 3rd floor is that's the floor where the bridge comes across Wyoming and into the building, to the back corner of the building, so we can actually see where that's coming in off.
Okay, let's go do it. So Neal, we're looking out upon this under construction bridge that you talked about earlier.
Yes, and it's going to be complete hopefully by the end of this month, like I said earlier. And this is going to be crucial and a big pathway for our employees to come from the parking, which is over across over across Wyoming Street here. So yeah,
and it'll obviously be a lot warmer once the glass goes in.
Absolutely,
because it's cold up here, folks, right now.
Very cold.
Okay, well, thanks for showing it to me.
No problem.
So Neal, we are presently on the top floor, the 7th floor of the Traitor Bank building, which you are actually for yourself for the first time seeing that it's been insulated.
Yeah, I'm making progress every day.
Yeah, which is good. I'm glad it's insulated because it's freezing outside, and so this is nice and cozy and wonderful for us. So talk to the audience about the 7th floor and who will be occupying the top floor of the building.
Okay, well, each department, different departments, different levels, but the top floor, the 7th floor will be our executive management, basically the leadership of DBI. So it'll mostly be private offices, on the perimeter, and then they'll have some seating areas and things, but mostly private offices for the team.
And what I love is that as you look out of these fantastic, huge square windows, you see all of the downtown. I mean, you see Harmon Geist in the distance, and we look off out that window and we see the building that's going to be turned probably into the Art League.
Right, there's a lot of potential. You see the potential, but definitely from up here you can see the Security Savings Building, which we're hoping to become the Art League. The lot next to it, the Greco lot, that the city's looking at potentially doing a city park.
Nice green garden.
From this view, you can see a lot of the potential.
Well, and that Hazleton National Bank building too, that is part of
yes,
your projects right there as well.
Right, and there's a lot of potential there for tenants and things. So it's just the way the whole thing kind of plays out. You can start visualizing.
Well, and I like the fact that you can do that. I like the fact that you're at the top and you can see all of this and you can really see the progress as it's happening. It's exciting stuff. And most of all, I think that there are many people in this community, while change does make some people nervous, as I said at the opening of the show, there are plenty of people in this community who truly appreciate the dedication of the people from Power, the people involved in the Downtown Hazleton Alliance for Progress, the people involved in the Downtown Hazleton Development Company, and of course, the DAngelo brothers and DBI. They appreciate the investments of time and financial resources that you are putting into trying to not just take our area to where it's been, but take it to where it could potentially go.
Right, right. No, and thank you, and I appreciate that, and I appreciate, and we love this community. Everything, this is something that we feel is great for the community, our family, our employees, and this is very important to us. So, and thank you. And for those that don't agree with everything, I encourage you to speak up, say something, get involved, because the biggest frustrating thing for me is the people that say stuff but don't do anything.
Well, it's funny you say that, because I close every episode of my show and I always say, when you look around and you don't like what you see, don't complain about it, do something about it. Right. So you're encouraging people the same thing.
Absolutely. We don't do everything right. I'm not perfect, nobody's perfect, but please speak up, get involved in your community or whatever you're passionate about, because that's important to.
Well, Neal DeAngelo III, thank you so much for a wonderful day.
Thank you.
Exciting stuff happening. Happy New Year, happy 2015, happy 2015 to everybody out there, and don't complain about it. Do something about it. Thank you for watching.